Okay, since it seems, of course, you've talked a lot about the currency. How then do you think we can strengthen the Naira as it is right now?
Well, strengthening the currency, like I told you, is based on the production linkages. So let's start with one simple one, for example. We're a very religious society, Christian and Muslim and every other thing. In every community that is active, if we tell those who go to church and those who go to the mosque, and they're donating to God, and they're donating to whatever nature of God that they have, let them put some food away, also donate to those who are hungry, so that every community has a food bank, so that nobody above 60 and cannot be taken care of should go to bed without a meal. That's simple. That's the first stage. Then we can take the second stage. That's how you create value. Because ultimately, the value of a capitalist state, you cannot run capitalism if you haven't got capital. And you must build that capital. And you can't build capital when you're saying, oh, some say they're socialists, some say they're capitalists. Those words don't exist anymore. What exists is opportunity. Create opportunity for your people. Once you create the opportunities, then you will see the Naira will appreciate. Like I tell you, I give you one example. Yam is produced largely in the Middle Belt in Benue State. You take the yam from the farmer there at 50 Naira. By the time it gets to Benin, it's 100 Naira. By the time it gets to Lagos, it's 200 Naira. The same guy who does the thing goes back to the same farmer and says, I won't pay you 50 Naira this time, I'll pay you 40 Naira. You are destroying that production chain. Only the government can ensure that logistics of moving those foods to Lagos is appropriate and there's no waste in it. Half of the food you produce in Nigeria is not eaten because of an absence of logistics. Those are issues to deal with. Once you deal with those ones, then you can start talking about flying to the moon and buying big things. Those are all pies in the sky. Work to your ratio. You'll be amazed at what you can achieve. That's how you make the Naira strong.
Okay, let's come back to the studio. Since we are on the Naira issue, a Bloomberg LP report says that the Naira, it was the fourth or so worst global currencies in 2016, losing 36.68%.
Depending on the exchange rate you're using.
Depending on the exchange rate we're using. Earlier in the year, there was a discussion about, okay, let's devalue the Naira, the gap between the parallel market and the official rate is too wide. Then the president said then that he's not seeing any, benefits of devaluing the Naira. And then sometime in June, then there was this, I can't remember the actual word used to describe it. It wasn't devaluation, but again, the Naira moved from 199 to, the official rate that we have today. Would you say that was handled properly?
Can we look at this? The currency is an indication, it's one of the indexes of growth. For an economy, which said. I would like us to look at the pillars upon which economies sit. Economies don't just sit in the air. There are certain critical pillars. One of them is education. Another one is infrastructure, and that's what perhaps is talking about. Let's look at these two, and if you will find how these things, if properly laid, can affect quite a lot of things. Nigerians are very resilient people. I mean, we must put this in perspective. In fact, sometimes you begin to wonder how sometimes they help out of nothing. So we've gone beyond that. We believe very strongly that this is the 21st century, and we need 21st century techniques and strategy to lead our nation among the community of nations. Having said that, you will look at the fact that, let me give you an instance. Lagos just signed a bond on $47 billion bond, $47 billion bond on infrastructure. That means they have put money aside to develop infrastructure over time. Now, this is the kind of things we are looking at. If you say you want to use infrastructure as a pillar for economic growth and development, you will have to invest in it. If you want to say education, which is critical. Some of the challenges, even the security challenges you're facing, are ideological. You overpower ideology with a stronger ideology. It is education that has brought us to where we are. In the days past, and the kind of products that the universities produce, you would imagine the education used to have one of the highest votes in budgets every year, year in, year out. Today, the budget you have, education is up, I think it's on the 7th, on the 8th. So it is a clear indication of where you are putting your hearts in. So my take here is that government must look at those critical planks for national growth and invest in them. It will pay off, some of them a year, 2, some of them for 4 years' time. This is how known economies get out of a jam. Prayer is good, I pray, but you must be physically be seen to be doing something. As to the exchange rate you are speaking about, the multiplicity of rates in the market, in the bank, in the financial system, is one of the major drivers of the black market. The desire to shortchange, the desire. Can you get a naira at the dollar at 197 or 200? And the person said the man is going to he won't go.
Now, Mr. Odibo, you were talking about the issue of the naira and dollar exchange rates and the multiplicity of it.
I said that is the challenge. If I use the word challenge, I think it's an understatement. To have a multiplicity of rates that are official. Now you need to think about that are permitted. Is the bedrock of the challenge you have in the capital market, in the monetary market. That's it. If somebody gets money, I think the Sanusi was saying it once. I said people are sitting on the gardens and the phone call and making millions. No system, it has a moral hazard. So why will you go and get money from CBN and say you're going to do real sector work, and all of a sudden to exchange that money on the phone, you will make more arbitrage than the work.
What would you advise? Because we have rates of between 195 or 97 to the dollar to about 485 to the dollar. Now, that's the range. 197 to 485.
I don't think we are
to
still at 197.
No, 197 is there because of
pilgrimage.
I'm
talking about
that's the thing.
That's why I said, hold on. That's what I'm saying. We have rates ranging 197 to 485. You can break it down as you want. Official, pilgrim, whatever the case may be. What would you suggest we do? Because the conversation out there is liberalize the foreign exchange market, as in remove your hand and let this thing determine its own flow. What would you advise? Now,
to put it in context, when the black market began to go, the disparity between the official and the black market began to increase. Immediately, the government came into power, and they lost a critical window by which to have done this, and by now you will have had some measure of stability. However, having still delayed and yet still have done it, there is still the unseen hands that are still controlling the market. If you ask anybody who is playing, they will tell you, yes, we have said we've liberalized, but it is still a guided liberalization. Now, so my take here is that if you will let the market operate at one uni-platform, if you do that, first of all, you cut out all the arbitrages that come with the middlemanship that come with multiple rates. And then people and businesses can plan. Now, the market, anybody will tell you that's the first law in economics. The markets are very uncomfortable with uncertainties. Money, I've always told you, is a very shy visitor. It is this uncertainty that creates this that brings this undue pressure that people don't know what. I know they've done the forward contracts, but you can still see that there is a massive distortion there. So government, if you want to liberalize, then you must liberalize. You are going to get hit, but over time, when the market feels safe and comfortable, Soludo did it. When he came in, one of the first things he did was to open, say, go out, you come in, go out, you come in. And they will try you. They're going to take out and they're going to come in. They're going to take out money and they're going to come in. When they notice that there isn't any much government control, you will see that free flow. And it's that free flow that allows private sector investment income to come in. And that's what you need. Now, government is the only provider, in quotes as it were, of FX. And that's what has pressure on it.